So welcome to today's Business Spotlight interview. Today, my guest is Dave Kelly from CrossFit Green. Dave, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your story. So tell us, what do you do? Where are you? And how long have you been doing it?
We are CrossFit Green. We are a gym fitness business in Sandyford Industrial Estate, and we are here for about 10 years now.
Oh, fantastic. So in that general fitness, is it like a Ben Dunn gym? You just walk in and use the machines and you get out again.
So we would be the opposite of that. Ben Dunn, Fly Fit, you'd pay for access only. And then if you want some more help or programming or coaching, that's probably layered on top of it. For us, we have everything included in your membership. So it's a full service that people get. So a bit more of a boutique service offering than access to the gym only.
Okay, so it's a series of different offerings, different programs that you tailor to the
Yeah.
individual?
So in our I suppose definition of coaching, it's the coach who is trained in different modalities of exercise or fitness is allowed to then prescribe the daily program to someone to adapt it to build a relationship to kind of best help someone to get them from where they are now to where they want to be. So we kind of summarize it as we have all the tools necessary and then we give the tools at the right time to the right person to help them improve.
So you could even have someone like me to look like
Yeah.
George Clooney.
Yeah, listen, we can do our best, but we have everything from 17, 18-year-olds to 70-year-olds and guys that have come through their 60s, you know, with, injuries, historical things, and we've helped them get back to playing golf. We've had guys on the rugby team in their 20s that are looking for a bit of, more specificity in their effort that they're putting into their training rather than just turning up and wasting an hour or two a day in the gym. So it is a little bit more high end. It is a little bit more specialized. As we say, CrossFit is for anyone. It's for everyone, but it's not for anyone who doesn't want to put it in that kind of effort and work to get the results.
I'm with you. So tell me, what got you into this business in the first place?
I was in banking for nearly a decade. I
Really?
started off in the kind of call center area in Bank of Ireland. I then got on the road with what was their online banking, coaching, and setup kind of stage. Then I went into the dreaded Anglo-Irish Bank. Worked in their savings and
Yeah.
private banking kind of section. Very low level stuff, but it was an introduction. And then I moved to Australia, continued banking, realized it wasn't making me happy, and I decided I was going to make a change. I was one of the lucky few that now realize that got to follow through on making that change. And I suppose just changing my definition of success or what life could kind of give for myself.
So you're 10 years in business now. Congratulations getting through that period. So that was kind of pre-COVID. Then you went through COVID, and I presume
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a hiccup at the time.
It was a hit. It was managing change was the hardest part. Yes, the big hiccup, but where we were really lucky was the relationships that we built with our members over the years. And the value that they placed in the gym, the financial investment they had made in it, they wanted to come through COVID and have somewhere to come back. So we managed to retain a very high percentage of clients online by just diversifying, becoming engaging throughout the day. But yeah, it was tough. It was definitely an area to learn a lot of lessons, but we managed to get through it. I still trying to figure out whether we're worse for wear or better for wear after it because change in the overall marketplace, the overall landscape has just been so more frequent and more volatile since COVID than prior to COVID.
So I presume your model is it's not an online offering. They go into you, they get
Yep.
specific programs, they get a specific coach, perhaps, is it?
Yep.
They go through their thing. Is it typically an hour, half an hour, 2 hours? What sort of thing is it?
So all of our memberships, you get access to the gym and everything that's included in that. And then what's very popular with us is the class-based environment as well as the coach-based environment, coach-based
Okay.
environment. But really what people are paying for is the expertise. The team has a collective, several decades of experience. They're well educated, they're well versed in what they're doing. And it really allows someone to get to know someone to be able to build that relationship of trust so that we can actually help people. It's very easy to be transactional. We always say that a lot of people's customers are at arm's reach, where us, it's, we're very much in a big hug. So it just builds that relationship where we can actually have an impact on somebody rather than just be transactional.
And tell us, have you a memorable issue, problem, challenge that you faced in the recent years? And tell us about that.
The landscape has been a really big challenge. It has just become very volatile. It's very easy to access the fitness space. A lot of people now with social, I call it social media fitness. It's I've got a camera. I no longer need to build credentials or a legacy or have a brand name. I can just put information out there. So it's just trying to find yourself through all the noise, stick to your morals, stick to our mission statement that we've always had. That's been the biggest challenge in recent years, is trying to, get a good message out through all the noise.
So it's obviously, it's more that relationship piece that you're talking about, which is really important, building that trust with your clients, and which actually, in essence, like a good coach, will actually help them to move on to the next stage.
Absolutely. And the only way we can do that is to be in front of them and get them into this space. But when they're sitting at home and maybe they don't know about us, referrals are great, but a lot of people live on the phone. This is what's in front of them all the time. It's getting the message to them before they get to know us that maybe we're going to be the right place for them, because we're not trying to be Instagram famous. We're not trying to be social media. We're not trying to sell you anything. All we try to tell people is we have the tools to build that relationship. We can take a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. You have to come in here and we can help you. It's about integrity and honesty. And that's very difficult to get that message across now in today's world, in our space anyway.
Yeah, well, I think developing that culture is a very important thing. So where do you see your business heading next to the next, say, 5 years?
It is a conversation we've probably had more this year than we've had in the last few years. And I think it's a combination of going back to basics and the grassroots in the fitness space that worked, and then layering on top of, modern technology. What it's finding the balance of what people want and what they actually need, and how to get that message across. And again, it's trying to really get that down to an authentic level. If we can manage that, I think that's going to become quite popular. Again, it goes in cycles, fitness. I feel like if we can stay true to our course, that's going to be really, really helpful and just continue us to grow. We don't want a massive membership base, because it's relationship built. So it's just finding that steady growth, managing costs, managing expectations of growth for the gym, for the staff, and just kind of keeping that foot down, but going in the right direction.
And speaking of the staff, then, what would be the top 2 attributes that you would look for when you're hiring people to come and join your business?
The right morals, and then the right social skills, the right personality. We can help upskill and further educate people in terms of coaching development, whether it's all the way from weightlifting to group management to gymnastics to general fitness. But if you're a nice person, that allows you to meet and greet, shake hands, walk around the room, manage that relationship with people a lot better, versus the highly educated person but maybe doesn't have that social skill. So someone's dubbed this CrossFit space or functional space social fitness, and you have to want to come back. If you come in here and you've a tough workout and you've got the beetroot face and it's been difficult, but you've done it and you've gotten support and all the right things to go with that, eventually you're going to see the benefits of those. Whereas if you're not having a good time, you're not going to come back. You're not going to get the benefit. We're not going to get the benefit. So yeah, if they're the right people for the right reasons, the rest we can kind of manage and have learned to develop over the years.
Yeah, I like the way you're talking about actually coaching people, because it isn't just fitness training. You're actually coaching people to a better person.
Standard of living.
Yeah, which is really good. I like that. It does differentiate you.
Yeah.
So a lot of other questions I want to ask you. What would you say is one of the biggest things you've learned since you became a business owner?
The biggest thing I've learned as a business owner is to manage and adapt change, both within the business and within the industry, within life. Classic example is we were so set in our ways back in 5-6 years ago that when we did impact a change, it was very hard for everyone to swallow that, to learn where we wanted to go. So it's just getting better at managing changes, what is the effect of those changes, and just knowing that it's going to happen, day to day, week to week, month to month. What was popular in fitness, unfortunately, 12 months ago, might not be popular today. And it's how do we manage those change? How do we manage the expectations of changes for people?
Okay, so it's education as much as well as anything else.
Yeah, it's being informed. It's being able to inform somebody else and get the right reasons. It's very easy to say for us, okay, we're doing this, but we need to be able to articulate to people we're doing this because, and that goes for staff. It goes for, investors in the company, myself and my wife. We have to understand where that goes, and that goes all the way down then to the members that are coming in. We have guys here for 10 years since we've been open, literally.
Oh, wow.
And huge financial investment from them, but the return on that investment, it's not only in the physical or in the fitness space, it's the emotional, the psychological, that mental health element through people, when times are hard for people, which life inevitably does. Again, just managing change. It all comes down to that. And the better we are at that, the better we can help in terms of coaching and business.
And tell me, you mentioned your wife there who's a partner in the business with you. Do you find that
Yes.
a hindrance or a help?
Can I answer that offline? No. It's definitely a help to have someone to be able to ask ideas of, to be able to, point me in the direction of, maybe I'm doing something wrong or I need to reflect on something. As a small business owner, it's quite often you don't learn if it's right or wrong until maybe it's too late or maybe it's after the fact. So having that little bit of consultation, that trusted ear to go to someone can be quite helpful. And sometimes it's just nice at the end of the day to have someone who listens to my rants if I need to have a rant, nod and tell me it's going to be okay, or blatantly lie to me and tell me it's going to be okay. But yeah, it's definitely more helpful than doing it on my own.
Absolutely. So tell me, what advice would you give to an 18-year-old you?
That's a tough one. So I didn't do college. I tried college. I wasn't great. I wasn't great academically, and I tried to lean into something that I wasn't great at. I did well, but the lack of passion for the academics just led me to not invest my time and effort into it. So it would probably be to follow and put my effort into something that I was more passionate about, or that I knew that I could give more follow through to, rather than be steered or influenced in the wrong direction just because that was the expectations of myself. Once I got into fitness and business, I was on courses, I was well educated, I spent my time, I invested a lot of effort. So just probably find that out or be a little bit more true to myself at 18. But in hindsight is a great thing. At the time, you're very influenced by what's going on and life and the expectations. Everyone else wanted to go to college, so I wanted to go to college. But yeah, it just a little bit more true to myself. Maybe if I could go back and say that and say it's going to be all right.
And have a bit of passion. So very good. So if for people here listening in, are there any offers you have currently going that you'd like to extend out to them?
Yeah, we also have an offer just to get people into the gym to experience it. It's called our intro offer. It allows people to come in over a 2-week period, a little bit of a try before you buy, and then they can make an educated decision themselves if this is going to be something that they want. And that's found through our social media pages. It's on our website, and just get in contact with the gym through CrossFitGreen.com, and we can help people from there.
So CrossFitGreen.com, guys, go and have a look there. And if they wanted to have a conversation over a phone line, is that facility available as well?
It's all there. Again, to contact us, we have people who will rather go through email. They'll rather set up a call. We have a consultation room, which is where I am today. But again, not everybody wants to sit down. Some people want to have a conversation. Some people want to sit down. So rather than us saying it's one way, it's whatever way is going to work for that individual.
Yeah. I think it's a great way of getting to know somebody, building that relationship, as you said.
Absolutely.
To say what is you're looking for, and therefore, because that's the only way you're going to actually do it. I'm sure a lot of people go in and do it once and you never see them again.
Yeah, it's true. They're like, okay, maybe that experience, and that's why we do have an offer for just a single session, but you're not going to be able to make an educated decision. It's like going into the restaurant and having a carrot. What was your meal like? You're not educated enough. So some people want to sit down, some people don't. We don't make it that our rule is the way that this is how you do exercise. As I said earlier, we have all the tools. We will then layer them on to the individual in front of us. So it's far more personalized for somebody. Some people are more articulate, some people are less. So it's just being able to have that conversation where needed is really useful too.
Yeah. So healthy body, healthy mind. Bottom line, it's the old adage, but I think it works, doesn't it?
I totally agree. And our goal is to help as many people through health and fitness as possible.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's giving people what they need and not necessarily what they want.
Yeah.
And a good old kick up the backside, bit of motivation to get people going. There's nothing wrong with it. You just, as I said, once there's that trust there and that relationship built, it's far more impactful.
Dave Kelly from CrossFit Green, thank you so much for participating today. Really love to hear your advice for business owners and to hear your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom.